He my motivation, I'm his inspiration. We get information, so we elevating, daily meditating. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? It's your girl, Camson Oracle, one half of Remnants Gathering, and I am going to do the weekly tarot card reading for the collective. So I hope that this video finds you having a good day, making a good day, a great day, because we are coming into a time where we're gonna have to manually, like, we're going from automatic vehicles to driving sticks, if that makes sense. And so as I was kind of getting myself ready to do the reading today, I found myself channeling more than anything. So this will be intuitive reading. This is not just tarot cards or whatever, because there's a message that's in me that needs to get out. And so that's what I'm doing. So I'm multitasking. If y'all hear the oven and stove beeping and going off, just ignore it. Because yeah, I'm trying to multitask. And I just want to say that thank you all for purchasing the abundance ritual for you all that did. When we have rituals that we do together and we like make them $11.11, like things like that, you go with what resonates with you and what speaks to you. So our movement isn't just based on like how can we create currency, which is important, but sometimes we do that because that's our debt to the collective being to awaken souls. That is the responsibility that we have to use, what we've been given for you guys. So thank you. Hopefully you've already got an opportunity to start working with some of the elements and the different magic that we combine for that abundance ritual. And actually I'm going to be using my abundance potion during this, because we need more abundance. If y'all hear lawnmowers and stuff going, we're getting y'all work done. So just ignore that. Again, multitask. I don't know if it be looking mystical when we be uploading videos, but we got ordinary lives just like everybody else, and it gets complex and it gets complicated. And I gotta leave and go to the airport really soon as well. Yeah, I be telling y'all all of my business, but it is what it is. But this abundance potion, for those of you who read energy, when you get it, just sit with the energy and just sit with the aroma. It's almost nostalgic. It's almost like I've smelled that smell before, but I don't know how. I don't know where. It just brings back this very nostalgic sensation. I only made like a small batch of these, and that's because as I am perfecting myself, being able to allow myself to be a channel for y'all, it's almost like I'm being taught lessons as I'm going through my spiritual journey. And so I have to be disciplined and I have to be obedient to what it is my higher self and my spirit guides are speaking. So when they're like, only make this many of these, like, don't think it's personal if you miss out or something like that. Like, no. If I just had a machine and like we could just, push out thousands of these, we absolutely would. But the thing about magic, it requires a certain level of focus and a certain level of purity of energy, and it also requires alignment, especially when you're making something for abundance. And so many people, I've bought a lot of abundance potions, and some of them I have seen results and some that I didn't. And I was like, what is the difference? Like, what's up with that? Is it the ingredients? Is it the person, the practitioner? Like, what is it? And it's a mixture of all of those things. So yeah, I didn't make that many of these, but I have a feeling that this is gonna be more. Y'all see all the herbs and crystals and stuff in it. I definitely don't cut corners. So even though stuff be inexpensive, it's not because I'm cutting corners, because stuff like that, I want it to be right. But I wanted to say where we're moving, we got turbulent times ahead. Turbulent times ahead. And it's not a turbulent like in a bad way. It's kind of like a turbulent like when your washing machine is on certain cycles, and like we're not in a rinse cycle. This is like agitation coming up. So I want you to begin practicing cultivating peace, cultivating serenity within yourself, cultivating your wholeness, however that speaks to you. You know, simple things for me. It's like sometimes y'all may see me and I'm all made up, and sometimes I'm not. I'm just how I am when I wake up, and y'all get me like that. But it's like they seem like mundane things, but they aren't. So in a world of masks, and in a world of cover girls and cover boys, in a world where we have perfected the art of aesthetic, sometimes it's important for people to experience someone in their authenticity and in their organic energy. And so, yeah, so again, listen for what is authentic for you and what resonates for you. That's what's going to get us through these times coming up. But the next 6 to 8 months, this Christmas may be a Christmas filled with a lot of tragedy that you hear about. You don't have to directly experience this. But again, if you do experience any type of tragedy, it's not personal. And I think to cultivate comfort, to cultivate security within yourself that's based on sacredness and not based on your home situation, not based on not even your finances, your physical situation, your life, like none of that matters. So when I made this abundance potion, the thought and the energy that I was cultivating as I was putting the ritual together for the cleansing, and then Ernest put his own energy and mixed it in there with it. And so the thinking was abundance, not as in increasing currency or money, but more so in the wholeness, to be abundant in wholeness, to be abundant and filled up and being able to connect with source and hear source speak to you where you don't even need me for anything. You don't need anybody, you know. And so for right now, we need each other because we're helping each other, you know. So yeah, I just want to share that with you because y'all go continue to find stuff that, you know, speaks to you. Yes, sweetie.
How do I put this on?
We don't need that on, okay? Can you let me finish the video?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so I'm going to be talking about abundance. I'm going to be talking about wholeness, healing, trauma. What information do you have for the collective? Y'all just keep telling me, like, cultivate the sanctuary within, cultivate comfort within, cultivate sacredness, tap into the divinity, tap into source. What information do you have for the collective? How can they tap into this endless, infinite energy of abundance where nothing is lacking? What would be the subconscious element maybe that we're not seeing or we're not dealing with? What is the best way to deal with that? Very first card, Morganite, which is for relationship healing. So y'all, like, when you think of the word relationship, again, you hear how you relate, and ship, which is like a vessel, right? A vessel that's in water. So it's like a vessel that's having to learn how to move through emotions. It's a vessel. Imagine having this huge cruise ship and you've only ever canoed. You go through the awakening, you go through Kundalini enlightenment, you know, you go through you're beginning to do the soul work, and you wake up one day and you're on a timeline where now you're driving a cruise ship. A lot of us have cruise ship relationships that are beginning, or even that are resurrecting, that are reforming, because there's a lot of reformation. It's a lot of things reforming right now. So it could be a new relationship, an old one that feels new. You could just see changes happening. You have relationships dying and new relationships being created. So relationship healing is going to be one of the number one ways to tap into abundance. And this makes perfect sense because this goes back to the collaborative dreaming card that I pulled when I was asking these specific questions for the collective of those who are awakening. It's so important. It's very important that you cultivate the relationships with people who it is important for you to do so. Whether that is you being the one that is offering a helping hand, or whether that is you being the one learning how to be receptive, learning how to receive the love. A lot of us are doing rituals for love, spells for love, meditations for love, manifestations, everything and beyond, but there we don't have a receptacle for the love to connect to experience the current, the real current of love. And so this is with this morganite crystal relationship healing, this is your number one access, relationships. And don't even think just outside of yourself. You know, again, you are the driver of the cruise ship. You know, you are the owner of the cruise ship. So your relationship with yourself, how are you treating yourself? You know, are you binging all the time, or do you just have cheat days where it's more like an indulgence thing and you're just giving yourself a day to just have whatever you want, and not because it's what you have to eat or what are you doing? How are you treating your temple? How are you treating yourself? Okay, so more editing for me. I keep getting interrupted, but it's okay. We're gonna get through this. So relationship healing, morganite, y'all. Work on that. Cultivate that. You are always with you. You are always with you. You will always be with you. You came in with you. You leave with you. You sleep with you. For a lot of y'all who like are wanting to be in these partnerships where the dynamic is more so a soulmate or twin flame experience, but a lot of you aren't cultivating a relationship within yourself. So it's just like, how are you treating yourself? Because the way that you treat yourself, from your sleeping habits to your eating habits to, you know, physically, what are you doing? Mentally, spiritually, what are you doing? Energetically, what are you studying? What are you learning? What do you do with your free time? Like, all of that is a blueprint as to what the relationship is just going to give you more of that. So if you're not in a space where you're happy, or even not even just fully happy, because nobody is ever to a point where there's no improvements that need to happen and like, I'm just great right here and nothing needs to change. But when I say that, I mean the relationship with yourself, and what are you using the time for, and all of that. Like, what do you spend your money on? I mean, all of that. So you're going to attract somebody who reflects that. And so if you're not in a place yet that you feel is healthy, it's a good thing that you're not in a partnership with someone, you know. And it's nothing to rush, because first you have to learn how to be in a relationship with you. You have to learn. A lot of us are traumatized. A lot of us were abused. Just I hear some terrible things, you know, and y'all know just little pieces of my story. I really need a biography or something to give y'all the whole story. But with the healing of the trauma comes the reprogramming of the subconscious mind and the core wounds. And so your relationships, beginning with you and yourself and everything and everyone around you, including how you treat nature, how you treat plants, how you treat the ground. Are you still littering? You know, do you go outside and just pick up stuff? Like, all of that, it matters. And so this is the time for those of you who are single, like, right, this is the best time to be single. This is the best time to be single, because you can press in and you can heal these wounds, reprogram your subconscious mind, and have the relationship with yourself so improved and on a high frequency. When you are ready to call somebody into your reality, it's just going to be beautiful. Difficult times is part of it, but it's not going to be causing a lot of havoc, unnecessary havoc. Some havoc is necessary. So that was really interesting that's what I pulled. A relationship healing, that's number one for abundance. That's number one for the season we're coming into. That's number one. So, and I can tell you that's major work. I'm still working on it, you know. I'm still extra hard on myself. I'm still self-critical. Don't think because I got a YouTube channel and I'm doing this that I'm past it all. I'm not. I'm in the crux of it all the time. But the work that you put in, you will get what you put in. So stay encouraged. What do we need to help keep us encouraged? Because y'all just keep showing me these tumultuous times. And I hate to make people, I don't want people nervous system going crazy because of this reading. So, yeah. What can we do to soothe ourselves as we're coming into this cycle and this phase? What can we do to soothe ourselves? Or maybe not even do. Sometimes it's not doing something. Sometimes it's the absence of action that is necessary to be refreshed and start again. So on a collective level, what can we do to self-soothe in a healthy way? Because a lot of us self-soothe in ways that's not good. Cacoxanite. This tells me the way to self-soothe, because this represents new beginnings. You soothe yourself by focusing on new beginnings. You soothe yourself by beginning something new. Maybe there's nothing new in your life right now. Like, what could you try? Is it a hobby that you could do? Did you write poems in school to your boyfriend or your girlfriend, people you had a crush on? Maybe you was a little inappropriate and you wrote poems to your fine ass teacher. I don't know, been there, done that one, and got in trouble for it. I don't know. But whatever it is, maybe you could do that again. Or maybe you've been thinking about taking a class because you want to learn hypnosis. Like new beginnings. This is going to soothe you. Maybe you want to start reading a new book. I'm reading 6 books. I don't even know why the hell I'm reading so many books at one time, but it just feels imperative for me to read every opportunity that I get. But that's a new beginning for me, because usually I just try to hone in on one teaching, one thing, just focus on that. I'm kind of pulling from many different places. So yeah, new beginnings. This is going to soothe you. If you don't invite new energy and you're dealing with a lot of stagnant energy, then this season is going to feel heavier to you than it has to. So it's not all bad, okay? Whatever that new thing is you've been thinking about doing, yeah, go ahead and pick it up, because abundance is waiting there, okay? Thank you for that. Is there anything that we need to be watching out for? Do you have any messages as to something we need to be careful of or watch out for?
Thank you. You're welcome. When you be done.
What do we need to watch out for? So I'm kind of expecting something dark to come up, or maybe like in that realm. And opal came up, and this particular crystal represents joy. We need to watch for joy. We need to watch and fixate like our whole being on things that bring us joy. You could just really, really love baking. And you might not get to do it that often, but when you do, you just be, oh my gosh, it's just like, and then when you sit down and taste it, and when other people, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And it just brings you joy. Pay attention to the things that give you joy. With the new beginnings card that I pulled, that means there will be new things manifesting themselves to you that give you joy. So don't be surprised. Some of y'all, I don't know, it might be weird. Some of y'all might start getting joy from cleaning up. And like, it just really makes you happy to clean up. Damn, if that's you, holler at me if you live in Memphis. But that might give you joy, For some of you, it's just being able to be a shoulder to cry on, or an ear to listen to somebody, and that really, and like, you usually, it might be the kind of thing where it's like, man, I feel like people are always dumping their shit on me, but all of a sudden now it's just like, you know what, I was on the phone with her for a whole hour, but it just really brought me joy to be able to be an ear for her, or be a sounding board for her, or whatever it may be. So it may be things like that bring you joy, but just pay attention to the things that bring you joy. It could be something virtual or something on the TV that you're seeing, and you notice, like, pay attention to how energy is communicating to you in your body, with your nervous system and things like that. And so if you find yourself, things just light you up, but it's something you never tried, you never thought about, maybe something you used to be afraid to do, maybe something you thought was stupid, maybe something you thought was worshiping Satan and demonic, and all of a sudden now you're like, I don't know why, but that made me feel so good. Like, I love when you might be watching a supernatural show and you just like, man, I don't know. I ain't never did no invocation, but that scene right there just had me like lit, like, and it might be your first invocation, or evocation, just whatever. It's just being open hearted and open minded to receive the new energy that's coming in, and there will be joy, okay? But we have to learn how to cultivate joy in the turbulent times that we're coming into. So this wasn't a pick a card. This was, like I said, I was just moved to do this and focus on this. So I'm gonna try to go ahead and get this finished and get this edited and put up so I can get it to y'all as soon as possible. Thank y'all so much for listening to me and commenting and responding to me and just allowing me to be so blessed by the things that I'm able to do to enrich your journey. Like, I appreciate that so much. So even if y'all don't see us doing lives as often, because a lot of things are shifting and changing, just stick with us like y'all been doing. We gonna stick with y'all. We gonna ride this thing out, and whenever it's something important we need to bring to y'all, we gonna make it happen, one way or another. But we have been running into a lot of interference and stuff, and so we're just learning how to work our way around it and be water. That is, when you are in turbulent times and on a wash cycle, the best thing to do is to be the water. Be the water. You might be the agitator. I don't know. Are you agitating people? If you're the agitator, it might be a good thing. Maybe the people around you need to be agitated so that a cycle can come where the dirt separates from the being. They're like, that's not even me. You've been getting on my damn nerves lately, but I realize, and it may help them realize something. I'm not saying y'all need to be with shit and getting on people's nerves. I'm just saying, maybe, just flow. Just flow. Practice being in the flow. All right. Comment. Let me know what y'all think. As we always say, man, your third eye has just been kissed.
He my motivation, I'm his inspiration. We get information, so we elevating. Daily meditating, nightly levitating.